see you guys. I am Ron Story. This is the Speaker Hub um, evening speaker co-working call, and we still have people coming in. Last night we had one of our guests that produced a record for us, a theme song for Speaker Hub that we were playing in the background just a second ago. We finally got some theme music. Sharon, you remember last night? We got a new version of the theme music. You know, good to see everybody. All right, go ahead, Bart. Go get some dinner. We don't want you to burn up your macaroni and cheese and baked beans and weenies, whatever you're cooking over there. But it's good to see everyone. This is our 7 o'clock session that we do on a daily basis. We started the session last week. It's a bit smaller than our daily session in the daytime, but it is a lot more fun on the 7 o'clock because we be doing a lot of crazy stuff, and it's not as serious as the daytime meeting. But so I'm Ron Story. I'm the head of operations here at SpeakerHub. I mean, the head of member services at SpeakerHub. Angela is the head of operations. We have a total of, I think we're up to 42 people on our team now, trying to grow this thing, 21 full-time employees and another 19 contractors that we work with. AJ, good to see you. Sharon, the self-carepreneur, good to see you. Bart is always good. Laura, this is your first time. So if you want to introduce yourself to us for the first time, that would be great. I already know you because we spoke earlier, but if you want to introduce yourself and tell us what you speak on, this is the great time to do that.
I'm trying to finish eating.
So if you want to come back up, go ahead and finish eating and you can come
No,
back.
I'm good, or true, I'm good. So I am Laura Jackson Liu. I speak on a number of topics. I'm a coach, consultant, speaker, and author, and a musician. I like hearing about the new music. So what I'm really working on now is connecting a number of my talks, including some in the past, which were a bit more esoteric, of peace and leadership and collaborative work. And that's what I'm bringing to corporate leaders and specifically to nonprofits and NGOs. So I've worked with some international people. I spoke at the United Nations last year in Vienna, Austria, and bringing all those pieces together. So it's great to be here with you all. Thank you, Ron, for the invitation.
Oh yeah, no, you're always welcome. Yeah, so this is what we do on a daily basis. We help you to get booked more. Laura, I know when we talked earlier, you were driving. How many gigs did you do last year?
Not very many. I have been taking care of my mother for the last 5 years, and so it has directly impacted my work. I've probably, at this point in time, though, I've given over 500 talks. Like I said, I've spoken nationally and internationally. So I definitely have some background in that and a lot of topics, too many to list here,
Yeah,
but
no,
not
500.
enough. I would love more, right?
500 is incredible. That's a huge round number. How did you find your talks in the past? Was it through referrals? Was it through outreach? Was it through different bureaus, things of that sort?
I think it was outreach, and I think it was people finding me. I spoke at a lot of them came from speaking at an international nonprofit in Virginia Beach, Virginia. I live in Norfolk, Virginia, and Hampton Roads. And so many were there and then kind of being known in some communities. I've been an invited speaker.
Oh, that's cool.
So
I
yeah.
know a little bit about Norfolk. I used to live right off of Verdon and Lafayette Boulevard. So my mom is born and raised in Norfolk. She met my dad at the Little Creek Road Navy base, and they got married. They had 3 kids. They moved back to St. Louis. So I'm very familiar. I used to own 8 Allstate agencies in Norfolk. So
Look at that.
yeah,
Well,
yes, I'm very
I met
familiar.
my husband. My husband's my Tai Chi Sifu, and he worked for the government and Little Creek Base. We are in a neighborhood just behind Little Creek. That's actually where we live. Just a few years ago, we met and got married. So,
No, that's cool. Yeah, that is cool. So yeah, I lived in Norfolk for a long time. So good to know we got some places in common. Sharonda, good to see you again. And Sharon, good to see you again. And Harriet, good to see you again. Last night we was working with Teresa Robertson, and we came up with a song, a theme song for SpeakerHub, and we used AI to write it, and then we used AI to produce the music, and then we found AI to sing it. So we're gonna debut our theme song called "Round and Round" right now, and let you all hear it.
Standing tall without a care.
Let me go back. Oh, yeah, yeah.
But when you talk, you grow and shine. Round and round we go. Speak out loud, you'll do just fine. Round and round we go. Now first we practice nice and slow. Then we find a stage to show. The confidence begins to grow. Round and round we go. Must start out small, have some fun. Blur one by one, you'll get it done. Love bigger stages start to flow. Round and round we go. But talk on podcast, tell your tale. Round and round we go. Seen the videos can never fail. Round and round we go. Clump soon you're speaking everywhere. Standing tall without a care. But now you're ready, so prepare. Round and round we go. Every time you take the mic, you learn, you grow, you get it right. Little steps will make you strong, so come on, sing along. Work start out small, have some fun. Blur one by one, you get it done. Blur bigger stages start to flow. Work round and round we go. Make confidence begins to grow. Round and round we go. Yeah.
There it is. That's it. Round and round we go. Start off small, and your confidence begins to grow. Round and round you go. That's it. That's how you get booked. You just keep going. It never stops. You're constantly growing as a speaker. You get more confidence. You get on bigger stages. And before you know it, all of your dreams are a reality. Harriet, what's up?
Hi, good evening.
Good to see you again.
Same here. So I am trying, where you pitch, where you when you're pitching and the note message comes up, you have, I believe you have an option where short, medium, long.
Mhm.
Mine is default to like short, and I want it to be medium, and I don't know where to go to make it medium.
Yep. Share your screen with us, and we'll show you how to do it.
Okay.
Yep, that's a good question. So over on the left, there's a button called Branding Kit. And then if you click on My Brand, and if you scroll down to the bottom, all the way to the bottom, and you're going to see Writer AI, and you can control the tone and the length of the message.
Okay, yeah.
And then click Save.
Yeah.
And you can make it, and there's other tones. There's funny. You scroll down, you can scroll on there.
Okay.
Right. So you can make it passionate, inspirational, enthusiastic, or whatever. So yeah, this will help you with that.
Thank you. I appreciate. Let me see what passionate sounds like. Thank you.
Yep. Yeah, there it is. So anything that you deal with the AI writer or the AI matching is all controlled here. Got it?
And my messages are written already. I just have to like redo it to get that medium length.
Yeah. So go ahead and open up the mailbox.
Okay.
And you can see all of the messages that you started working on. The original ones are saved. If you scroll down, just
Down
scroll
here?
down. Yep. And just hit rewrite with the AI.
Okay.
And you see it defaulted to what you already had. Now just hit
Yes.
rewrite and it'll rewrite
Got it.
those.
Thank you. I
Yep,
appreciate
no
it.
problem. Yeah. No, you're working with the greatest. So this is how we get people booked. So this is the cool thing.
Thank you.
Sharon, what's up?
Thank you. I have two questions, I think.
Wait, I got a
One,
question. Did y'all like our song? That song is pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, it was.
yes, the song was. Where'd you say you got the song?
Teresa Robertson from NSA showed us how to do it last night. We wrote the lyrics with ChatGPT, and she gave us the software that does the music and the singing, and we put it in there last night and found, you know, I'm down in Colombia, so anything that's salsa, cumbia,
Okay.
bachata related. I love Latin music, so I said let's put a little bit of Latin flavor on it, and boom, we ended up with the trumpets. Trumpets are always going to be, you know, Latino music. So, but go ahead. I'm sorry. I got
Oh yeah,
distracted.
no, that's great. So I was hoping to come back and say, oh, I made all these pitches, but I ran to a snack. So I wanted to ask about the pitch because I signed up for the trial and it says I have 25 pitches. So my assumption was I was able to use them, but when I try to pitch, it's prompting me into a package.
And
And I'm sure I'm going to invest, but I just
no. I'll show you. I'll show you. So I don't know if Lethea sent you all of the stuff. So
Okay.
yesterday, Lethea was supposed to send you all the code that goes along with the challenge that you're participating in.
Oh,
So there's a code that you put in. So I'm going to send you that code right here.
okay.
So
Okay,
when you
perfect.
go and you choose a package, it gives you 30 days.
Oh, I see.
So
Got
I just
it.
sent the code to you there. So it gives you 30 days because you're in the challenge and we sponsored that challenge. So you pick the package you want, you put that code in, and then it will let you pitch. That's the 30-day trial that's there.
Got it. Okay, thank you so much for that. My next question was, so the packages are broken down by, I don't know the exact names, but for example, one says if you want to do podcasts. So is it separated like that? I mean, you have to determine if you want to be moving more towards conferences, podcasts, in terms of the type of
So-
package you select?
Yep. I will show you why we do it this way.
Okay.
So when we think about speaking, and when I think about speaking and how all of this works, everything we do here at SpeakerHub is based on the Speaker Flywheel. And that flywheel is consisting of inbound leads when someone finds you, and outbound leads when you're reaching out to people, asking if you can be on their stage and letting them know that you are a speaker that's available. Does that make sense? There's
Yeah.
1.3 million speakers on earth right now. So event planners don't know all 1.3 million of y'all. So you got to introduce yourself to them saying, I speak on this topic. Speakers that do outreach get booked 7 times more than speakers that don't. Currently, only 8% of speakers are proactively reaching out, pitching themselves based on our data and research. So the inbound is solved by your speaker page. You know, your speaker page here, which is the traditional SpeakerHub speaker profile, right? In SpeakerHub alone, there are 63,600 people with these profile pages. There are only 10,000 organizers in SpeakerHub. So there aren't enough, the organizers aren't going to search through all of this stuff to try to find everybody. You got to introduce yourself. Does that make sense? So when this page loads, I don't know what's taking it so long, but when this comes up, I'll show you the speaker profile. On the other side of it is outbound, which is what the pitch challenge was about that NSA sponsored in Lethea. Now, if you were to think of your top 5 favorite speakers, everyone on the call, how many of them have you heard speak live and in person? Sharon, since we're talking to you, we'll let you answer. How many of your top 5 favorite speakers have you ever heard speak live and in person?
Maybe 1 or 2.
Yep. And the reason why we ask that is because your favorite speaker, you've heard of them on a podcast, or you saw them a YouTube video or something like that. But yet every speaker I meet says, I only want to do paid conferences. But I'm like, the speakers that you respect, you don't even know them because you heard them speak at a paid conference. You know them from a podcast, a YouTube video, a book that they wrote, or some other thing. You got caught up in their flywheel. So if you want to be like Lisa Nichols has done 2,400 podcast interviews, right?
Got
If
it.
you're an author and you're saying, I want to be as known as Tony Robbins did 240 podcast interviews 60 days before the release of his last book, right? So we have these goals, but we got to also have the habits, right? So we teach the outbound habits so that you can start doing the things that the speakers that you admire do, right? So here's the inbound. I don't know why that timed out. That's pretty weird. I know we shouldn't have any server problems, but you know, that happens sometimes.
So while you're looking at that, that makes complete sense. But now when you do go into the system, it asks you to give yourself a goal across these different categories.
Yep.
So what is the thinking on that? So for example, if you, because I'm emerging, because I was speaking, got mostly into my consulting, you know, coaching, and that's been the primary, right? And so now I'm moving back into the speaking. So I'm considering myself really like starting over, and would be considered emerging. So podcast makes sense for me, in terms of like the visibility aspect of it, and you know, building the credibility brand and all of that over.
Yep.
So
Oh no, we got you. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to answer
Okay.
every question you're already thinking about. We've
Okay.
already thought through it, right? So one of the things that we looked at is like, how do we best help speakers to get booked more, right? So the main way we do that, let me just bring up the frameworks here so you can see. So this is what we were just going through. So based on, you mentioned you were an emerging speaker, and you've never seen this from us, but we already have that category. And we consider emerging speakers or speakers that are under 3 years and can ask for at least $3,000 without flinching, right? Experienced speakers are usually 4 to 8 years. They can ask for $8,000 with a straight face and not be like, oh, I think I get, that's how we think of an experienced speaker. Now, if you're either or, if you can ask for $8,000 without flinching, you're experienced to us, right? And then we have our expert speakers, which are over 8 years and getting paid over $8,000 in the past. They've been paid that and they can ask for it without flinching. Now, based on where you are, we think there's a flywheel that matches. So if you're emerging, you probably should be firming up your speeches and your IP, doing podcasts and associations, small groups under 100 people. If you're experienced, you should add the conferences to your plan. If you're really, really, really good, you should be reestablishing your thought leadership by writing also, because that will raise your speaking fee by 30 to 40%. If I can introduce you as Sharon Glover, the leadership speaker, versus Sharon Glover, leadership columnist for Forbes, I guarantee you the Forbes Sharon Glover is going to get paid more. Does that make sense? Am I on the right page or no?
Oh yeah. I'm kind of thinking.
Yeah.
Because
So-
I'm just looking at it from, and this is the specific from the previous experience versus just coming up new. Like,
Yeah,
and
but the great thing about this is it's self-selected. We're
Okay.
not telling you you're an emerging speaker. You said that. We didn't say that. If you believe that you can do conferences, you've already done conferences in the past, go ahead. But there are a lot of people who are, I just took Grant Baldwin's course on this. I've never spoken before, but I want to speak in front of 5,000 people. Wear a diaper, because you're going to poop your pants when you get on that stage, right? So you take the microphone and a diaper on the stage with you, because you're not ready for that stage yet. But nobody's willing to tell you that, because he had to sell the dream to get you to buy the $10,000 course.
got him.
But we got to respect the profession that I've been talking all my life. I ain't been speaking all my life. So we got to respect the professionals that are speaking, like Laura and other people. Laura's been off for 5 years, but Laura ain't an emerging speaker. You're speaking at the United Nations in Austria or something like that. You ain't emerging. You just took a 5-year hiatus. But when she gets back on that stage, after 2 or 3 more gigs, she's right back into the same groove she was in the previous 500 speeches. Does that make sense? So we let you self-select where you want to be. And based on what you select, we give you a game plan. We tell you, you should be looking to get on 48 podcasts and 12 association gigs if you believe that you're emerging. If you're going to add conferences and you want to do conferences part-time, you should be doing 48 podcasts, 12 associations, and 4 conferences per year. If you want to do this full-time, you're going to have to do at least 32 gigs. You're going to be on 100 podcasts, 24 association gigs, probably 8 conferences, and write for 4 publications. That's a minimum to be a full-time speaker and make a decent living. 80% of speakers make under $50,000 a year because they're not on the stage enough. I don't care what their arrogance say when they come over to us, because we're very clear. Like, I'm very clear. Look, no commission, no ego. We ain't taking none of your money, so don't bring us the ego. We just want to get you booked more. Right? Well, I'm this. Cool. Be that. But send these pictures. Right? You can be all of that somewhere else, but send these pictures over here. So this is what we focus on. We want to give you a recipe. Everybody else just gives you a promise. Right? So we believe in something called the speaker launch formula. Sharon, I didn't forget you, but I want to bring this up because I think it's really important. You need a strategy. Most folks are just wandering in the dark with their speaking business. They have no, hey, if I do this, I'm going to get here. So the flywheel is that strategy, right? We believe that the speaker flywheel is how you get in the game. Now, why do I have so much confidence in it? Because I've worked as an agent for the last 6 years for over 1,000 speakers. I've worked with the best in the game, right? So I've worked with the guys that are doing 200 gigs a year. I was booking them. I was sending the emails to get them booked. So I know that the flywheel works. The next thing you need after you have a strategy is a process. Something that's repeatable. I can wake up every day and do this thing, and I know I'm going to get this result. If I send this many pitches, I should be on this many podcasts, this many associations, and this many conferences. After I have that, I need accountability. I need a group that's going to pat me on the back when I do something good and pat me on the ass when I don't do it. That's accountability. It has to be 2 ways. Because if our system doesn't work, you know what you're going to do? You're going to ask for a refund. You're going to say, I tried this, it didn't work. Cool, we're going to quickly refund you. We've never had an argument about a refund. We give it back to you. Why? Because that's the accountability. But then we're going to invite you to do the work. We're going to say, look, did you send the pictures? No, I ain't send no pictures. Cool. So the system worked, you didn't work. Right? So that's the difference in between us and everybody else. I believe in 2-way accountability. Right? So that's what we teach. Now, if you got 2 of these, it doesn't work. If you got a strategy and a process, but ain't nobody hold you accountable to actually implementing it, you ain't going to get no results. If you got strategy and accountability, but you just wandering doing random crap, you ain't getting no bookings. You're going to get booked every once in a while. Because you don't have a recipe that you cannot hold someone accountable to an unscripted process. Because I can say, did you send your 20 pitches today? You can say yes or no. It's very cut and dry. But if I said, did you send pitches today? You could have sent 2, you could have sent 50. But there ain't no accountability in saying, did I send pitches? It's did you follow this? Did you follow the formula that we gave you? Because if you didn't, then don't tell me it doesn't work. And I'm not talking to you, I'm talking in general, because a lot of our other people watch this and they know I'm very straightforward. I tell people all the time, I'm not an inspirational speaker. I'm not a motivational speaker. I'm a perspirational speaker. My job is to get you to do the work, right? Because without the work, you don't get booked. So this is what we teach. Do you see why we have the emerging? Because depending on where they are, if they're experienced and they want to do conferences, they can pick that plan, right? Now, the other thing that we get all the time is, what about the price? And my belief is this: we don't take any commissions from you. There's no other place to get the data that we provide to you, right? So we're not ashamed about the value that we provide. if you don't believe that $300-400 a month is worthy of you getting to get 5 to 10, $8,000 speaking gigs, we don't either. We don't think it's worth it either. Cool. But if you believe that, you will win because you will use our data and you will get booked more than what you've ever gotten booked, right? So our results at SpeakerHub have gone up tenfold since we took over the company. We measure it on a monthly basis. So I watch everything, right? So we know that our results have gone through the roof because we added accountability and outbound, right? So Sharon, what's your question?
Oh, pretty much I was having the same issue with the challenge, where the thing had expired.
I don't understand. Do you have Sharon, do you have a membership with us?
I understand, Ron. Can I
Yeah, of
elaborate?
course. I'm confused. Let me know.
So what happened is, with the challenge, Lethea gave one particular code. That code expires after 7 days.
Yep.
Ron's code does not expire after 7 days. So now the challenge is, if you sign up with Lethea's code and you get it for 7 days, what do you do?
Yeah. So Lethea was supposed to give you all, because at the end of the challenge, there's a 30-day reward for those who pitched the most. Does that make sense? In order to do that, you have to enter the code. There was a code that you enter at checkout to take advantage of that. Does that make sense? Do you need that code, Sharon?
Yes, because I didn't get the code.
Gotcha. Okay, perfect. I will get you that code. All right, so check your chat, and I just sent you the code for those who participated in the challenge. So you pick a plan, you put that code in, it gives you 30 days of being able to use the system. Make sense?
Mhm.
So, but yeah, so our thing, we're very adamant and we're very confident in the systems that we built based on what we've done. So for those who don't know, I ran an agency for 6 years prior to this. I was very good at getting customers in that agency. Angela ran an agency also. She was very good at doing all the organizing. I told Ange, I got a operations problem. I need some help. She said, I got 5 people. We're operating great. We got a customer problem. We need some help. And I said, why don't you bring your no customer having butt over here? And I will combine it with my having a lot of customers who are not happy because we're not able to give them the service, and let your people service them. And that's how we joined forces. So we started off, it was me, a developer, Angela, and her 3 employees. That was the first version of PitchDB. Today, we're 42 people strong, right? I don't take a salary for the company. I invest everything into hiring more people to provide better services to you guys, right? So when we talk about the investment, I don't really feel bad because I've invested more than anybody, right? I've invested millions, and I'm just asking you all to invest hundreds in your booking, right? So that's the whole thing. My thing is I got to grow the company. I'm going to grow and get more people on stage. That's my mission. So welcome aboard. You know, Bart is like a champion. Bart bought a lifetime account from us in October, paid for it in 30 days. He said 3 times over. He got more than 3 gigs with us in the first 90 days probably, but I'll let him tell that story. Bart, what's up? What's your question?
There, shut that. I want to change my email address.
Yep.
And
share your screen. I'll show you.
Yeah. Okay, can you see that?
Mhm.
So, like, how do I change it?
So go ahead and log in like you normally would.
Okay.
Bart has been with us so long. He was with us when we allowed people to not sign up with Google. He didn't have to use Google, actual password. So click on your name over on the right and go to settings. And are you trying to change how you log in, or are you trying to change the email that you send from?
The email I send from.
So you go to the emails tab. and then you decide, is it a Microsoft or a Gmail that you're sending from?
Gmail.
So go ahead and click connect new account. And it's going to ask you to go ahead and log in another pop-up.
Okay.
And yeah, go ahead and do that. And then I'll walk you through what to do next. So this is good for everyone to see how you do this. In the email configuration, you can change the time zone, all of those different things, but you can also have multiple emails connected. So you're not just forced to send from one. You'll see Bart will have 2 Gmails connected and 0 Microsoft emails connected.
Sorry.
So, oh yeah, no, take your time, do whatever you need to do.
So do I do create an account or just put the new one in here?
Yeah, just put the new one in. You just go ahead and type the new one in that you already have through Gmail and log into that one, and it'll ask you to give it permissions.
Okay.
Right? So
I'm
did that
good.
make sense what I was explaining, Sharon? Okay. I want to make sure I wasn't screaming at you. I
No,
wasn't
you
yelling
may, yeah, no,
Okay.
I already told you, thank you in the chat.
Okay.
Go
All
read.
right, I'm just saying I don't be looking at the chat, so you got to forgive me.
He said,
And
thank
reads
you
the
for
chats
breaking
for
it
me.
down. Much appreciated. Yeah, no, it's great. Thank you.
Yep, Ange reads the chat for me. I don't get to read the chat.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah, you know.
Angie, tell him what I said.
All right. So yeah, no, I mean, because I be getting emails, man, why you be talking to, I'm like, dude, I'm trying to help y'all win. Like I'm a baseball coach underneath. You know, I'm willing to run out there and argue with the umpire for you. You know, that's that's my attitude. You know. Saran, good to see you. Always good. Any questions about anything? Laura, what are your thoughts? This is a whole different speaker hub.
Hi, Ron. How are you? How is everyone?
I'm doing well.
Good. Ron, you remember about the glitch we have on the audience, you know, the ticket you put for the ideal audience? I don't know if it's been fixed or not.
No, that's going to be in a future release because we're redoing the prompts for the audience and for one of the frameworks, but that has no effect on your ability to pitch. That's just information for you.
Yeah, great. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yep. Yeah, we're working on that. We got 2 AI features we got to fix. Any other
Ron,
questions, Ange?
Jared asked if you could share the flywheel.
Yep. You want the actual, you want to see it again, or you want the actual like graph? I don't know what she's asking.
Can I talk?
Yeah, of course.
I was interested
This
in.
is a dialogue. Wait a minute. Nobody ever has to ask if they can talk. This is not.
No, I was interested in the numbers because when I don't know something like the mechanics of the business of speaking, I need direction, and this, like those numbers.
Yeah, well, I'll share this with you. I'll give you a copy of this deck. Is that fair?
That one. Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah,
it shows you what you should be doing on a daily basis.
Right. That's what I was.
Here's the one thing that we left off that we need to add. So these are new opportunities that you will be pitching. But what do you do the next day? If I pitched these 20 things today, what am I going to do tomorrow?
Is it tomorrow or in 5 days you do a follow-up?
No, it's tomorrow. Don't you wait 5 days. You better follow up the next day, right?
Oh.
Yeah, we do next day. Like, coming from a person who sends about 500,000 emails and follow-ups every year, I'm telling you my opinion, right? I ain't telling you theory.
So I hear it's 5 follow-ups and you wait like 5 days, then I don't know, 5 days and 3 days and 7 days or something like that.
Do
So
that if you want to lose to my clients. If you want to lose to my folks, do that. If you want to win, do what I'm about to show you. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. That ain't how that works, right? So I'm going to bring up an example here. We can pick any of these. Let's use Alex. Alex does educational conferences. This is somebody we actively pitch. We send and follow up 30 emails a day, just like I teach from the thing. His includes some follow-up, so that's why it's 30. Make sense? This is an actual client of ours that we do outreach for. We just automate it because he doesn't want to use AI. So we automate a template that we send. So you can see here, we've reached out overall to 761 conferences for him. What's the open rate on those emails?
Oh, that's high.
87%. How many of those 600 who opened the emails clicked over to see what he was? 90. Out of 600 people, how many people replied? That's 1 out of every 5 emails he gets a reply. Now, you want to know the beauty of it? Because we always talk about emails. Let's see, we need to reconnect his account. Wait, hold on. Doesn't have any accounts. How is that? 1 second. Let's go down to Alex Ellis. Oh, my internet is acting stupid. Let me see. Right, let's go down and see Alex's email. What email is he using to get that 87%? Is it a personalized email?
Yeah.
See, we don't do theories over here. I'm very clear. I only teach the things that I do. He got 87% open rate with a Gmail account. Terry, I'm just teasing you, just to let you know, you can use Gmails. You ain't got to use nothing fancy, right? Now, how many responses is he getting? He got 120 some responses and 21 asked for more information. Haven't even looked through these to see what they said, right? But I'll go through these eventually before our next meeting next month to show him what's been happening. Now, is that just one person? No, let's go to Mira. This is with Benjamin and Jeremiah, her husband. We follow the same recipe, 30 emails a day. We ain't sending a bunch of pictures, right? So let's look at the results. She has a 43% open rate, but look at the response rate. Out of the 530, 87 people have responded. You see the correlation. It's still every 6 emails that get opened, they get a response. I haven't gone through all of their options, but look at the ratio. 35 people are asking for more information or sending her over to the right person. We consider those positive responses, right? So this is what I call the Succeed in Spite of Yourself program. It's our done for you service, right? So if you don't want to do it, you can succeed in spite of yourself. We remove all the emotions. Why? Because you pay us to send the pictures. You don't pay us to think. So this is what they do. We just send pictures and someone on their side responds to it, right? I can go through, I got hundreds of these. Stephen Boyd, right? Similar results. We sent 700 pictures, 300 of them got open, 54 responses. This is what
I have a question, Ron.
Yep.
So this not AI, but the system is sending it every 6 minutes? Like what is?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So in this situation, because we're automating it, we wanted to mimic as if you were pitching, a human was pitching. You only get in the inbox if Google believes that it's a human sending it on the other side. That's why we don't have automation in SpeakerHub, because we know if we turn on automation, people are going to say, I want to send them all tomorrow. I want to get a gig next month. And they're going to do it and they're going to get their email blocked. And then they're going to call me saying, I did this and my email got blocked. And I'm like, how do you foolproof this thing? Let them go in and spend 30 minutes a day pitching themselves. Shouldn't take you more than 30 minutes. There's a 3 to 5 minute interval in there because it's random if you're doing it naturally. Do you see what I mean? It's random. We've never had anybody's emails blocked. We're getting the same open rates and responses, right? So this is the best system on the world. Why? Because I have the results where we are doing this for our customers. Ask your other coaches and other software people to show their work. They will not show you the things that I'm willing to show you. That's what makes us different from everyone else. We do this. Those aren't fake campaigns. Call them. Call Jeremiah, call Dr. Alice. They'll tell you, I do this for them, right? So everyone else just got these theories. Tell them to show you an actual freaking campaign. So we follow up. Did you notice when our follow-ups were? Let me show you, and then we're going to go to Bart. Let's go Stephen Boyd or any of it, don't matter. Let's grab Stephen again. His campaign is paused. Let's look at the sequence, right? that's just, oh, he's doing a one email. He's not doing a follow-up. He didn't pay us for follow-up. So let's look at Mira, right? So sequence here, because of the way that we set her thing up, we have theirs set up to 5 days because they want to get a bunch of fresh pitches out. Do you see what I mean? So depending on the client, we have a different timing, but I'm a next day person. If, I have to do what the client wants us to do, but if it's up to me, them pitches going out the next day, right?
So
Look at
what do
this
you mean the follow, like if I send a pitch tonight to one person, the follow-up to that person should be tomorrow?
Yeah. Now, watch the difference in the results. This is great. Look at what Mira is doing. Mira has a 5-day setting. We sent the pitch here. How many responses they get at first? 78. How long is the delay? 5 days. You see that? What's the response rate after that? 10%. You see that? Went from 78 to 9. All right, let's go to Alex, who follows what I tell him to do. And he's like, Ron, whatever you think is best. Alex, first email, how many responses you get? 79. How long did we wait? 1 day, another 34. Do not wait. It is the worst thing you can do.
So
Now-
if you're gonna follow up 5 times, what's the wait time?
24
Between-
hours, 24 hours, 24 hours, 24 hours, 24 hours.
Oh, for real? Oh, wow. And then after that, you done.
Add them to a newsletter. 24 hours, 24 hours, 24 hours, 24 hours, 24 hours.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah, but you have the right to do whatever you want. This is not a dictatorship.
I know. It's just that I'm I don't remember her name. I'm brand new.
From
Very,
the
very new.
challenge, Lethea
Not
has her own-
Lethea, the lady who was on tonight, she hasn't been speaking for a while, so I don't know. I used to, 20 years ago, I worked for a company and I was the one who went out and speak. I used to go to Harlem and speak at these different places. And I had children and my life just went different. So back then, right now I'm looking at public speaking and it seemed so foreign to me. I'm thinking, what I used to do was I go on stage and people say they like me and they call me back next week. Like now I'm looking at this thing and it looks like a monster.
It's a real business now.
Yeah.
The course business has introduced more people to public speaking than ever before because now you can learn to be a public speaker. In the past, it was you were a preacher or you were a boss at a job and they hired you to come train their people. All right, those are the only public speakers. Unless you were selling something, you were you were in management doing training, or you were a preacher. Only public speakers we had. Now, anybody, you got a message on trauma, on whatever, your life story, how you made it from here to here, how you recovered from this or that, somebody will pay you to talk about it if you can move the crowd emotionally, right? So, Bart, what's your question?
Yeah, I'm almost home here. Need you to take me all the way through. Okay, so here's where I'm at. So I made this the primary. So
Yep.
now what?
You're ready to go. That one, when you go to pitch, it's going to ask you, it's going to pitch from that account. The other one is still connected. You can delete it, but it's connected if you want to switch back to it. But the Bart Talk 44 is the primary email now.
Okay.
So go to send a pitch. Or go to your mailbox. I'll show you what it's going to ask you. So when you go to mailbox and you do a follow-up, so yeah, when you click there and it goes to go to send. So let's say you're going to do a follow-up and go to follow-up, click there and go to generate a follow-up. Scroll down and, oh, you got to wait until, you probably got to go to one that you didn't just send 6 hours ago. Yep, click on the follow-up there. Perfect. And scroll down. Oh, that was sent 5 hours ago too. But Bart been pitching. So let me show you what to do. Go back up to the top, Bart, and then do sort. Click on filters. And then do sort by oldest first. Oh, it's already there. Yeah. So Bart been moving his stuff and archiving. So yeah, these pictures from Bart, I guess today or whatever. Oh, he's been following up. So since you've already followed up with everybody, go back. Bart, I want to show it. I want to show an example. Click back on the Charlie Kirk show and follow up. And look at Bart's thing. He pitched them and then he followed up in 18 hours. You know, he's continually following up. He just sent this follow up. He has 3 messages. Show us his, click show history. Look, you see that? He's following up regularly. You just keep following up. Now he picked his own cadence on when he follows up. Again, it's not a Ron dictatorship, but I believe you should follow up the next day. Make sense? But you're ready to go, Bart.
Okay. Thank
Yep.
you.
Sharon?
Yes, thank you. So initially I was gonna ask because I was trying to do, I think what Bart was doing was changing the email, but now you said Gmail is fine. I'm going with Gmail. I don't want to put anything in the way. I just want to do these pitches. So this is a little more, I guess, system related types of things. So when I went in, and of course I haven't gone in to add the code and all that yet. I've been trying to follow along as much as possible. But I noticed that some of them prompted for the pitch and then others didn't. So I was looking now, since the suggestion is to.
So anything that you've added to a list will prompt for a pitch because you've already selected it. If you didn't add it to a list, it won't show the orange pitch button.
So that was the thing. I was trying to add it to the list. So one, I couldn't figure out where the list landed. Like, where do I find the list after I put them in the list?
So share your screen and I'll walk you through it.
Okay, sure.
Because we're all imagining what you're talking
Okay,
about.
right. Okay, let's see. Let me share screen. Oh, I guess this is it. Okay. Okay. So I'm over here now with the podcasts.
Right?
And
So let me show you where everything, when you add something to a list, go to mailbox.
mailbox. Okay.
Because if you're adding it to a list, you're planning to send. So they're just waiting over
Oh,
here in the mailbox.
got it. I
And
see.
If you haven't started pitching it yet, it'll say pitch. If you started like this virtual conference, you started working on it, click on continue. You'll see the email is still there waiting on you to send it.
Right.
So you
Okay.
started and you didn't finish. So it's going to tell you to continue.
Okay, I got it. I understand now. Okay, so now I'm rethinking,
So
you know,
let me
what
show
you were
really quickly. Go to filters at the top,
filters. Okay.
all the way at the top.
Oh,
all the way at
okay. I see.
right. So now you can see your list. So now click on contact lists
Contact list. Okay.
and you can see the list that you've created. If you want to delete something, click off of there. Just click the arrow again. And there's a button right beneath that says manage contact list.
It says what now? Managed. Okay, got it.
Now it opens up the list by name over on the right. Click on it and you can go in and edit that list. So click on the pencil next to leadership. And if you
Oh,
want
I
to delete them off, delete them off.
Okay, I see. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So now I just have a question. This may be for, I lost you guys. I don't see you anymore.
We're here. I'm here.
Okay. Let me stop.
Marco, Polo, Marco.
Okay.
Polo.
Okay. You know how you lose people on Zoom? You lose step. Okay. So for the podcast, since that's something you're recommending, I see a few, I read them, but I've been in the habit of just maybe going in and listening just to try to see if it's a good fit. Do you recommend that, or should I just pitch and let them figure out?
Okay, let me give you the male perspective, right?
Okay.
And here's the male perspective. Imagine I go to a coffee shop. I see an attractive lady over there. I'm gonna go outside. I'm gonna look at her license plate on her car. I'm gonna look up the clothes she got on the internet to see what brand it is. I'm gonna see what she ordered, and then I'm gonna get the police called on me. Don't be creepy, okay? Decide if you want to go on the podcast, read the description, send the pitch. You're investing too much in the outcome, right? So you're trying to take those, y'all got to quit treating these pitches like Bitcoin, right? Y'all trying to save the Bitcoin. I don't want to spend mine. You send the daggone pitches. I want to be perfect. I would rather 100 average pitches go out than 10 perfect ones. Because if the guy who sends 100 is 5% right, the chances of you getting 50% of your 10 perfect ones right is very low. We overthink this thing, right? So as guys, we know, man, shoot your shot. If she shuts you down, talk to her friend. That's how we live. I'm going to shoot my shot at this podcast. If they ain't interested, I'm going to talk to the next one on the list. And if they ain't interested, I'm going to talk to the next one.
Yeah. No,
And then eventually I'm going to find out how many podcasts I need to pitch in order to get one that's interested in me. What words do I need to change? What do I need to adjust? Am I going after the wrong audiences? But we can't be that invested.
That's good. Thank you for that. Another quick question, because I don't want to monopolize here. So I noticed with the conferences, it was starting with and I know this is the way to go with conferences, you know, are you guys looking for speakers, etc.? I haven't, of course, gone in to try to do a podcast one. I'm assuming it'll go more straightforward because it's a podcast and they're always looking for guests.
There's a different prompt for podcasts, for associations, for your referrals, for conferences. We wrote a different prompt for each one. Now, one of the things you can do is use the AI so that you kind of get an idea of what you want to say. And then what Bart did is he went and made a template. He turned the AI off and he said, dude, this is what's working. I'm just going to use this. Right? So if you notice with a lot of our done for you clients, we spend about a month writing a template to get the template right for them. Right? Now, for a lot of folks, they don't even know what to say, how to do it. So we have to give them some ideas. So we use the AI, and we used to have templates. We still got templates in there. Nobody uses them because you know what people say? Well, I don't want to sound like everybody else. And we like, well, I don't know what to tell you. You don't want to use AI. You don't want to use templates. You don't want to write the email. Cool. Let me give you this refund, right? I got the fastest refund button in the West. I have no problem with saying go, because we want the people that want to win, right? So that's how we do it. That's how we roll. We want you to win. We ain't gonna fight with you. But laughs because I say this every day. Like, dude, this is the easiest company to work with on earth, you know?
I wanted to ask you, so what are you trying to say? It's kind of rhetorical. I probably shouldn't say it. I'll put it this way instead of asking you. I was trying to get you to tell Teron that like in that pitch, like what do you want to ask them? And so when Ron says, you know, don't overthink it, don't put too much in there. At the end of the day, you want to know if they want speakers. Can I go in your podcast? Now you're probably not going to end it with those 4 words, can I go in your podcast? But his point is not much more, because then at the end of the day, this is who I am, this is what I do, this is what I want. That's his philosophy.
That's it.
I mean, but
if I'm at a coffee shop,
it is. I don't really want to know anything else, so I'm not concerned about the perfection of writing. I can talk. That's why I'm here. But you answer my email, then we talk. I'm not trying to show you I can talk in the email because they don't want to hear me because they got to read all that stuff. So that's kind of what he's getting.
Yeah, go back again. I use relationships because everybody has either hit on somebody or been hit on, right? So are you single? If she does this, I just walk away. I ain't got to waste my time. I ain't about to fight, right? If she ain't single, then why are we wasting our time? If you ain't looking for speakers, why am I wasting my time telling you how great of a speaker I am? If you ain't looking for podcast guests, why am I wasting my time? Send me to the person that's looking, that helps book speakers for this. Are you the person in charge of booking speakers? Are you still looking for speakers for this event or a future event? If they're not, why tell them what type of car you drive? Well, I'm a doctor and I drive this car and you should like me over your current man. No, stay with the folks you got. I'm gonna go to the next event. That's the attitude. The best 4-letter words in life is next. I ain't trying to be your friend. I'm trying to get the deal. I'm trying to get on stage to give a talk. I can't waste time trying to convince one person when I can go talk to the next 10. That's why it's a volume game, right? Does that make sense? It's volume, it's sales. I used to make 200 cold calls a day to strangers, right? When I got the job at Northwestern Mutual, we had to bring a list of 200 people that we could reach out to. I didn't know 200 people that weren't college students. So I got mine out the phone book. They ain't tell me I need to know the people. They said you need to bring a list of 200 people you can call. I had a list of 30,000 people in these white pages. And I went and I grabbed 200 people out there white pages and wrote their name on the piece of paper they told me to write it on, and I took it in there. I ended up being 150, ranked 150 something out of 1,500 my first year, and ranked number 55 out of 1,500 my second year, calling strangers. So I don't feel sorry when people don't want to email strangers. I've got hung up on by the best. You'll be surprised what these professional doctors say when they get a cold call. It's amazing how many four-letter words they know, and it ain't next what they telling me. Right? You know, I've never had so much sex with mothers, if you can read between the lines. I've been called every MF in the book. And you know what I did? I hung up on them because I knew I would never see them in person. And I don't think they would say that to me if they saw me in real life. So I didn't take it personal. They didn't know me. I was interrupting them. Does that make sense? So we got to remove our emotions and just go for it, right? You got to send the pictures. Why? Because on the other side of it is somebody's life you're trying to save, somebody whose life you're trying to change, right? So that's why we do this. So we got 2 minutes before 8 o'clock and we get into overtime. I'm willing to stay as long as y'all willing to stay and listen to this madness. But these are my daily TED Talks to help speakers get on more stages. We just happen to have clients in the room that are following these steps and are getting results. So whether it's Saran, Leroy, AJ, Angela, of course, Bart, you know, Laura, sorry, welcome to the family reunion. This is the first day. Hopefully you ain't left yet. So evidently we must be talking your language.
I just got to say one thing. I feel like I'm on another planet, and I don't want to say anything about the old SpeakerHub, but I've paid for this. I don't even know what you guys are doing, but this is massively amazing. And so I want to learn more. I'm really impressed with what you've done with it. So we'll be talking. I booked a time on your calendar too. So thank you. This was extremely insightful.
No, I'm glad you joined us. I'm glad you took me up on the challenge of coming over and joining the call. And I will make sure that the money that you've invested in the past didn't go to waste. Right? That's my promise to you. Harriet, another question. Harriet got all the questions. This is
I know, I'm
Harriet,
trying not to. I know, I
this is
know.
it. I like this.
I know. Do you have any suggestion where, I apologize for that. Do you have any suggestion where, I printed something today and I was thinking Monday I do this, Tuesday I do that, Wednesday I do this, Thursday I do that. Do you have any suggestion on
Yep. Are you on your computer?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna show you. Here's what you do. 1 second. All right. So as an emerging speaker, take a screenshot of this. Go ahead and take a screenshot. And you just do this every day. 2 podcasts, 3 associations, log out. Don't do nothing else. 2 podcasts, 3 associations, log out. Next day, 2 podcasts, 3 associations, follow up with them, log out. Just do that.
Okay.
You ain't got to do nothing fancy. Make sense?
Yes.
Right? It's the consistency, guys. It's just consistency. You're seeing the guy pounding the rock, and it looked like ain't nothing happening. And then on the 800 thing, boom, the rock splits. And we're like, man, well, which one was it? Was it the last one or was it the 800 before it? Right? It's momentum. It's hard to build momentum in this business. It's a lonely business. Speakers are very accountable when you get booked. You know you got to write your speech. The stage is going to hold you accountable because the people are out in the crowd. You're going to start seeing them booing you and walking out if you're not that good. The public accountability is real. Y'all good at that. Y'all show up on time. You wear your nice shoes, your nice clothes. You got your microphone, got your hair did. All of that stuff is ready. We got a problem with the private accountability, doing the work when nobody's watching to get us on those stages. That's where we come in, because we're like, well, don't do it in private. Come meet with us every day at 12 and at 7, and we'll walk you through it. We'll help you. AJ, I bet AJ probably over there pitching right now. When he ain't talking, he probably pitching or pitching for somebody. That's what AJ does. He just used this as co-working. He just come in and send pitches. He ain't got to say nothing. Leroy, he said nothing. I bet he probably over there pitching at 11 p.m. in England. Right? It's probably 1 a.m. in England because he's 6 hours ahead. Right? So, but this is what we're about. We about that action, as they used to say when I was a kid. The dude that could fight, he was about that action. He wasn't about talking. He was going to punch you in the nose. That's what we're about over here. We're about pitching. Any other questions? Any other comments? Laura, hopefully you feel welcome. You're welcome here every day. We do this at 12 noon Eastern and 7 p.m. We're pretty chilled out group, but man, I am passionate about being the amplifier of speakers. And we use the flywheel to do that. That's our strategy, our framework, and our process is the daily calls, and the accountability is what we do. It's not just a pat on the back when you do well, but it's a pat on the ass when you don't do well. We want you to win. Bart, what's up?
Yeah, I think two important things that you always say. I have attended this for almost 4 months now. I'm used to the stories, so I smile when I know they're coming when people ask a question. But I think one of the powerful things that you showed from the very beginning, that back to my comments before that I shared, was when you were doing the pitches for those speakers. Now you mentioned that here tonight, but they didn't see your draft of your email and the simplicity of it that got them on stages. When you say, well, I don't know what to do, and guys, well, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to say, but then you sent that, and then the responses and the activity that you got from that for a guy.
You want me to show that?
No, I've seen it. I'm just saying how powerful it is. You can probably show it because I think it makes sense.
Yeah, let me show it. Let me show it really quick. Yeah. So here's what Bart's talking about, right? So when I first started, my first client doing outbound was John Lawson, right? And John was like, you can look John up. He was the shoestring king down in Atlanta. He's spoken all over the world for all the big companies. And he said, Ron, because we had just started November of 2020, right? And I was still doing sales consulting. He was like, dude, you should pitch people. I think you could do it. I think you got the right attitude. Nobody else is really doing this. He was like, dude, I'll give you $5 for everybody you send this thing out to. I'm like, you about to send me $350? He was like, yeah, boom, give it to me. I got it. He said, find me 70 conferences and reach out to them. So that's what I did. I found literally 69 of the top conferences. Here's who we reached out to. I mean, these were the top conferences like Collision Con, Inc., TechCrunch. I'm like, dude, I got to get this dude something. So I'm pitching the best conferences, right? And I'm like, dude, what do I say? Because I didn't know what to say. There was no AI at the time. We had some really, I had some templates that I had written, but I didn't really know what to say. He said, what would you say to your grandma? What? It's like, if you was going to write your grandma and ask her about dinner, what would you say? I'm like, I would just say, Grandma, you cooking? He was like, say that. He was like, don't put no logos in it because you wouldn't put no logos when you send it to your grandma. Just send that basic grandma email. So we called it the grandma email. So this is what we sent. That was the first pitches we sent. Hey, searched online. I found you ran this conference. Are you looking for speakers? Love to be considered. Open to a 10-minute conversation? That's what we sent. Here's the responses we got. Out of those 70 emails, 30 of them got open. 20 people out of the 34 replied back. Now, who are these 20? Because we always say, well, it's a big conference. This is Inc. We pitched freaking Inc. And Jasmine responded from Inc. Right? And she said, hey, John, here's the application right here. We would love to consider you. She don't even know what he talk about. But we think we got to have a pickup line. You know, pickup lines. This Forbes. Hey, here's, you want to speak at the Women's Summit? Here it is right here. You ain't getting this link unless you talk to this person. We talking to the right people. So we think we got to overthink it. Tell your coach to show you his work. This 2020, imagine how much better I am now. Like, so I'm just saying, Bart, I'm glad you prompted this because this is literally all we do. Yeah, here it is. Hey, look, we no longer do this, but our call for speakers is closed. If you like to, you know, we'll keep in touch for next year. Here, you can submit your talk proposal. Also, join our mailing list. You can learn more about what we're doing. Oh, this is great. What else can you ask for? It's relationships. That's all we said. So I gave this talk to a group, and I said, dude, I can book you with one line. And they was like, well, dude named Chi said, send it. Said, dude, you said you can send one sentence. Send one sentence. I'm like, I might be in trouble. Because this might not work if I send one sentence. So Chidi, right here, we reached out to 1,000 opportunities, 54% open rate. 90 people replied back to them. 73 were positive, asking for more information. You want to see the email? Remember I said it was one sentence. Bam. So y'all trying to come up with all these pickup lines. I'm just asking, are you single? It ain't rocket science, guys. You know, thanks for prompting me to talk about this part because we be thinking, what do you say and all this other stuff. That's why the original prompt that Harriet changed the medium is short. Because we had the by default. I'm like, look, I'm gonna give them the right thing to say by default. If they change it, that's on them. But by default, we give you 3
go back
sentences.
to the short one.
Yeah, it's hard to argue with the results, right? So,
Yeah.
but that's it. Like, we just show you the results and let you make your own decision. But we gave you the right things by default. But you know why we added medium and long? Because people kept saying, I want to say more than that. Cool, we'll give you what you want. I need
know,
you to pay
Ron,
for this.
but I know, Ron, but you see, like, I'm so glad Bart said that. So, you know, but you should know that you have emergent speakers that join
Yeah.
your session.
But
Don't let us think we're gonna mess up. Give us a blueprint,
No.
and then we can fancify the blueprint how we want it. But give
We
us
gave it
something
to
to
you.
run with.
we gave it to you. When you was on here yesterday, I said, click AI, click send. And you came back and you said, I want to change it.
I know, but I didn't know that it.
And it's not just emergent. Sometimes the more you do, the more you have to say. The more established speaker you are, guess what you want to do? I want to speak through text, even though you know, like this bottom line up front. This is who I am. This is what I do. Do you want speakers? Now I add, you know, my unique speaking proposition because there's some uniqueness to it, but that's still very short.
Yeah.
It's
At the
not that
beginning, you
hook,
just
but-
got to get in the habit of pitching, right? At the beginning, you just got to get in the habit of sending the emails and dealing with the rejection. And then you can sweeten it up, right? So it's no different. You know, my approach when I was in the 7th grade, asking a girl to dance, is a lot more enhanced now at 47. I should have gotten better over time, highlighting my unique features, right? So it's the same thing. You get better over time as you pitch and you see what people are responding to, or you see what the next question is. Do you see what I mean? But if I can tell you one thing. You know how you get an email on your phone and you got to do this? If I got to do that to read your email, you out. I ain't even reading it. So you better get it in full lines.
So
I got to do
Ron,
that. Dead.
a quick question. So that was 2020. Now this is 2025. Are they short emails doing are the short emails just as effective?
So I'm gonna play devil's advocate with you. Do I have to come up with a new email for 2026 and 2027? Have people changed? No, people still getting married off of, are you single? People still dancing off of, you want to dance? Since the 60s, you want to dance? Hey, cat daddy, you know, whatever they still jive turkey, you want to dance? They still doing the same thing. The dances ain't changed. Only difference is they slide into DM saying it instead of doing it at a bar. Humans are humans. There's no B2B, B2C. There's no pickup line. It is P2P. Make sense? Now, let me show you something, because I'm going to show you the other side of it. To show that there's no pickup line. You saw me reach out to educational conferences for Chidi with one line. But Stephen wants me to send longer pitches. So his is kind of medium. So his is kind of in the middle, but it's still the same thing. We open with the line and we know that works. So then he can say whatever he wants to say after that. All I care about is that we start with these two. After that, don't really matter to me, right? But someone else like Alex wants to tell his whole, I was on BET, I did all this stuff. So he adds that in there. Stephen doesn't. Jeremiah talks about something that is could be pretty technical and pretty scary. So with Jeremiah, we go into even more because he's doing cybersecurity. So he has to build up the security to make people trust him a bit more. So it's something that you work on. Now, we modify these emails. We work on this stuff like you wouldn't believe, but we test things. We're not trying to be perfect at first. So let me show you one of the best things. You ever heard of Ready, Fire, Aim? Or Ready, Aim, Fire? Which one you heard of? Did I say it wrong? Harriet?
The second one was right.
Which one?
Ready,
It sounds about right. Ready, aim, fire.
Ready, Aim, Fire, right? That works in the military. In business, it's Ready, Fire, Aim. Because you know what most of y'all do? Y'all sitting there aiming the whole time. Y'all doing this with the gun. We say, hey, get ready, shoot, and then see where your mark is and then adjust. Y'all still trying to get the email right. I'm saying send it, see what they say, fix it later. But if you never pull the trigger, you don't know if you're on target or not. So it's Ready, Fire, Aim in business. We all know the business that's people that are finna start a business and they never started because they still aiming. They arms tired. They don't put the gun down. They ain't even working on that idea no more. And look, you know, Harriet know what I'm talking about. She been aiming at some businesses for years and ain't shot nothing. Eventually, you got to pull the trigger. See where the mark is and say, okay, I tried. They said no. Best thing you can say is why. You don't believe me? My 8-year-old teaches me that every day. So does my 3-year-old. Can we get this? No. Why? Now I got to make up a reason why he can't have McDonald's today. Because I said so. That don't work. Right? But when I learn why, then now I can adjust. Cool. If I add that, would y'all hire me then? If I change that, would you buy it then? Does that make sense? It's basic sales, but you got to be willing to pull the trigger. Right? Now, I love this. I think that this is incredible because this is how we learn. Right? So let me show you what happened. We missed the mark with Laura. She sent an email to the old owner asking about changing something. I had to admit that we missed the mark because our support thing, and Ange will tell you, we had a very difficult support question or support conversation this morning during our 9 o'clock call. What the heck is going on with support since Raquel left? Why? Because I'm tired of apologizing to people like Laura. So I called Laura today. I said, Laura, this is Ron. I own SpeakerHub. I got your email. I apologize. I saw you reached out to Andras. The email made it over to me now because support was not doing what it needed to do. How can I make this up to you? So I knew we missed the mark, but I knew what I needed to do to get it back in center. So before she even asked for a refund, I said, hey, I saw you had asked us to tell you the date. Let me process the refund. Why? Because I don't want her to ask me for it. Because I don't want her to think she got to argue with us. I gave you the refund. Now we're at square one. Let's be friends. Come to this. We have a meeting tonight where you can see the new things we're doing. You see that? But if I didn't know where we were, if I wasn't willing to pull the trigger to pick up the phone, to take accountability for the wrong thing that we did, I don't have a friend now. Now she can judge me. She ain't got to judge Andras and the company beforehand. I can't make up for them sins. Like, imagine me asking my current partner to, hey, you know, when I was 17, this girl broke my heart. I don't want you to do it now. She's like, dude, that was 50 years ago. What are you talking about? Get over it. Right? But this wasn't that long ago. This was recent, and she didn't know that the transition had made. So I had to own it. Hey, I can't make up for what happened with Andras, but I can introduce you to the new world. Right? So that's what we have to do as business owners, whether that's with pitching or whatever. A lot of times we have to take accountability and apologize to ourselves. I had to do it to that customer, but we have to do it with our own personal goals that we're trying to accomplish. We got to say, I'm tired of setting this goal. Girl, you set this goal last year and you didn't do nothing. Girl, you done sent him $300 a month for the last 4 months and you ain't did nothing. You done took every challenge that everybody has done and you ain't did nothing. You done came to all the meetings and you still ain't did nothing. Cool. You got to have that conversation with yourself. Right? That's all I'm saying. You your first customer. I got to believe this stuff I'm talking. So I live it. Because when I go talk to Laura or AJ or Bart or any of our other lifetime members that I've made a commitment to helping them, I got to be able to say, yo, man, what I told you was wrong, or I made a mistake, or the things have changed. But up until now, ain't nothing changed. It's the same picture. So I like to talk about those things because that's business. For most speakers, this is the first business they've ever started, right? You're your first product. Your intellectual property has been your first product. So we're going to teach you the sales part of the business. That's what we're really good at. Ange may come on and teach you all some of the operation stuff. How do we go through all of these systems so that I can do my 20 sales calls a day, right? How does she build and manage the team on the backside? May have Ezekiel come on and talk about product. And how do we design the product together based on you guys' feedback? Does that make sense? Because that's what you're doing. You're building a business. So we're 19 minutes into overtime. We usually stop at 8 o'clock, but I'll keep going if y'all want, but my kid's going to hate me. Any other questions? Anything in the
I'll
chat?
save
I
my
don't be looking at
question
the
for
chat.
tomorrow at 12.
Don't be scared, Cletus. Come on. Come on, Cletus. Come on. Don't be scared. Come on, ask it right now. Let's go. This is the last one.
No, I wanted to, so I am so new to this thing. I don't have any little thing showing me speaking, but I did a YouTube with a lady and she had been in business for like 3 years and my YouTube was the most views that she had gotten. But because I don't understand this thing, I didn't know how to leverage it. So my question to you is, let's say I reach out to these podcast people. Oh, I guess the response would come in my mailbox and I could send that link to them. It's not within SpeakerHub.
No, yeah, there's a spot for you to do that. Right?
Okay, that was
So inside of SpeakerHub, we have this place right here in your branding kit that any media or whatever you want to share. You put your LinkedIn there, your website, your SpeakerHub profile, which is your one pager, and whatever media you want to put in. If I want to include a YouTube video, watch what happens. When I come up here and I click save,
yeah.
Look what's down here now. When I refresh, let me go out and come back. What you're going to see in my signature down here now is what? Oh, it's supposed to, wait, that's the demo one, default signature. There it is. Look at my media link.
Oh.
Even though my name is Jennifer Ryan. No, I'm just playing. I'm Ron Story, but I need to update that. But you see what I mean? It automatically puts that in.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
Right? So we've given you everything you need. We've removed all the excuses. right? The only thing that's left now is to do the work. So my firm belief is anybody who's using SpeakerHub Pro or they're using SpeakerHub, they're not sending pitches, it ain't our fault no more. Like, you know, I do 15 to 20 demos a day. And everybody keeps saying, well, I'm gonna go see if there's something else out there. Cool, come back. We'll be here when you get back. We'll be right here when you come back, right? The price may not be the same because we've doubled the price 3 times since July. The price in July, the price in October, and the price in February. We've raised the price 3 times. So it's gonna be higher when they come back. June is gonna double again. So we just telling y'all ahead of time. just being real. It's gonna be that $500 thing. June 1st will be $1,000. Bart, what's up?
Yeah, I don't think you have to over convince people, but sometimes, you know, maybe. But I thought that Bernice being on here today, and she's on last week, and Lethea, you know, established speakers out there in the space and all that they come here. And I thought what Bernice said about SpeakerHub Pro and all that today was pretty amazing for someone who has the success that she has already out there already. But not only how she speaks about SpeakerHub, but like, I have this already, and now I can grow even more with this. Of course, everybody wishes this was around when they started. So I just thought that was a huge statement and testament to what SpeakerHub is doing and what they have. So I would look at, you know, sharing some of that. You know, it's not just emerging speakers or experience or whatever. It's like everybody's coming here. Successful speakers are here.
Yep. So Vernice, if you don't know who Vernice is, Vernice Flygirl or more is this young lady here. She is a helicopter pilot, former Marine helicopter pilot. Her dad was a Marine. Her granddad was a Marine. So she's 3rd generation Marine. She was the first African-American helicopter pilot, right? Female helicopter pilot. And she goes out and she does speeches. She's been doing this for 18 years. So she talks about how she came on today and she talked about how she started at $2,500 a month. And, you know, someone told her it was too low, so she raised it. And she kept saying, well, no matter what price I say, they're going to negotiate it anyway. So I may as well just keep raising it. And now she does 6 gigs a month at $50,000 a piece. And she was like, look, it's just work. Like, but she's been at it for 18 years. So as your confidence grows, so should your fees. So this isn't just, oh, well, he just has free gigs. No, that's not how this works. We got gigs. And if you're good enough, they will pay you. If you have the sales skills, you will get paid. So, yeah, this is what we do, man. Ange had to run out, but this is what we do. We get people booked no matter what level they're at. Go look at the testimonials. Like, I ain't never paid anybody anything to say anything about us, right? And we're very proud of that. Ain't none of these. Let me tell you something that's cool about us. Number one, we don't use stock photos. So every photo that's on here are our customers. Find another company that says that. Actually, these 2 knuckleheads, these are the only 2 stock ones because we don't have these emotions. But other than that, these are real people. There's Bart right there that was just up here, right? There's Dr. Karen, there's Doris, there's Jasmine, these are Melissa. These testimonials come from these calls. These are people coming on this call.
Building a trust.
This is Sayron, who's in here now, and Darren.
I got it.
I mean, Les Brown. I ain't got to pay Les to say good things about us. He just know. He knows how the work we do. Right? So, I mean, these are all just direct.
If you're using a
what they're saying, I like, there's no.
What is so exciting about
them for testimonials. Just say, hey, what do you think about SpeakerHub? Oh, yo, if you're doing this and you're not using this, this is your issue. It's a new world. Now, I want to play something because I want to show you what we mean by self-awareness. And I think that this is really important as we close out because sometimes you got to eat the poop sandwich, right? And I talk about that all the time. So I want to go in here and I want to go all the way back to where we started 8 months ago. And I go back to some of our old videos. We got so many daily calls now. Let me keep going back to, dude, I didn't realize we got this many daggone calls. We do these daily calls in here, man. Y'all keeping me busy. Let me go back. I want to go back to July. This is July 2020. It's way far too back. 1 second. Way too far back. All right. I want to go here. And I want to show you just how we decided that we would take accountability for what was happening at SpeakerHub. So I want to play this. Let's see. So look at how we started this off, Laura.
Welcome to SpeakerHub Pro, your ultimate platform for speaking and media opportunities. We've listened to your feedback and made...
You see what that is? What I put up there? All the feedback that you was giving, Laura. 3,500 people. I ain't getting no new events. Ain't much opportunity. I don't see the value in this. See, we eat this. Cool. This is a challenge for me. We start off our commercial. First commercial we ever made at SpeakerHub started with this.
Made exciting changes.
It took a considerable amount of time to apply to most of the opportunities in there.
That's why we've expanded our network to connect you with over 40,000 conferences worldwide. Now, with access to 3.4 million podcasts, you can share your voice and expertise with millions of listeners, reaching new audiences and growing your influence. And with over 30,000 journalists in our network, your stories can make...
Right? So I wanted to start with that because that's the first part of business, is owning where you are and understanding that you're going to get better. So where you're starting at as a speaker today doesn't mean that that's where you're going to be 5 years from now, but you got to start. I started with a pile of crap from feedback. 3,500 complaints is what I opened up when I signed the papers and he gave me access to the thing. I said, holy crap. Don't nobody like this thing. What did I buy? I remember talking to AJ. I'm like, AJ, this may be an issue. But I knew where I was starting from. So you can't ignore it. You can't gaslight people and ignore it. You can't gaslight people as if they don't know you're a new speaker. So admit it and just go get better. So we want to show you our starting point. This is where we're going. We know where we're going in the next 5 years, but we got to be where we are right now. So I want to leave on that. Let's pitch more. Thanks, Bart, for the coaching on, some of the things that you thought I may have left out that are impactful. I'm glad we're able to show that, but we're here. We're going to be here for a while. I'm glad that, those who are here for lifetime memberships, that you're on board. Those who are just trying us out with the challenge and things like that, we're here to help you. So Sharon, good luck with the challenge. Harriet, good luck with the challenge. Laura, let's hop on another call so I can get you set up so that you can try out the new thing and maybe we can win you over to be one of our new customers. But good to see you all. And I'm going to go take care of my kids. Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.